Hey everybody, we're done. Not doing it anymore. Here are 9 things that we as midlifers, Gen Xers, mid-50s, not on the list, we're not doing it anymore. Hi, I'm Lynn.
Hello, I'm Jice.
And welcome to our channel, GenX
Quench.
Quench. And we're gonna jump into some things that Gen Xers probably we're not doing anymore, and probably some of these are on your list of things that you've stopped doing as well. And stay tuned to the end because number 9 is the biggest bang of them all. But the first thing that we're not doing anymore is chasing approval and trying to meet others' expectations. That's something that I don't know if we ever really did, but especially at this phase of our lives, when Jice and I talk about something, pray about something, then we just set off to do it. This YouTube channel is a perfect example of that. As far as, we were just having a conversation and Jice was like, hey, let's start a YouTube channel. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Say less. And we did it. And we didn't really tell anybody about it. And we just kind of launched it and people were like, oh, this is great. This is wonderful. So we thank you for all of your support and all of the kind words. But we are at a phase in our life where we're not really chasing the approval of everyone else, and we're not really looking to meet others' expectations that they may have for us or what we should or shouldn't be doing. So that's the first thing we're not doing anymore. Number 2?
So the next thing we're not going to do is overcommit to just being busy. Think about it. Prior to the pandemic, we were involved in a lot of different things, whether it's social activities, work functions, church. There were just and so many auxiliaries, etc. And the pandemic really showed us that life can be slowed down a touch, and it was better for our health. We had more chances to exercise, be close around another, get to know each other better. So from that perspective, and I'll give you an analogy. It's like when you're attending a flight. First thing they tell you is put your mask on first before you worry about anyone else. And to us, really saying no to some things is putting our mask on. That gives us time to recharge, etc. We may commit to like one function a weekend, but that's it because we need time to recharge our batteries.
Yeah, we're being very selective. I think there's a saying that was in a book that when something, when you're faced to do something, if the answer isn't hell yes, then it's a no. And we really are living by that. We're being very selective about what we do and how we spend our time. And we like being at home. We've created a sanctuary here and we love our house. And so we're not trying to get back into a world of busyness. And with that, another one is we've also stopped overthinking small things. There was probably times in your life where you had these small decisions, and a lot of times they had to deal with purchases or things that you may want to buy or things that you want to do, and you hem and you haw, and Monday turns into Friday and January turns into December, and you still haven't made that decision. We're over that from the standpoint of overthinking things. It's kind of a thing that, okay, here's something that we're faced with. Let's do the research. Let's use our 50 years of experience and life wisdom and make the decision. A perfect example of that is we recently had to purchase a mattress for a guest room. And when we were deciding, where to go, there was a department store, a couple of mattress stores, and we were like, okay, let's go to the first mattress store and take a look at what they have. And we had kind of set aside a whole afternoon to do this, mattress shop for a guest room that probably would be used, 10, 20 nights a year from the standpoint of having people come. And we went to the first store, had a budget in mind, and really the criteria were the budget that we have, and I just wanted something that could be comfortable for my guests so they wouldn't say, oh, that was the worst night's sleep I ever had. And so we found a mattress on clearance, both laid on it, touched it, was like, it fits the budget, it was comfortable for us, and we looked at each other and were like, do we need to go anywhere else?
No.
We said no, we, paid for it, and the mattress is delivered 3 days later. So, overthinking things is just cause for inaction and just taking up mental real estate that it doesn't have to do. And we're done doing that.
Exactly. The next thing we're not doing is ignoring our health. As we climb up in age, it's really imperative that we look after our health. So we have our annual physicals. Just this week, I've literally got a dentist appointment and as well as another appointment, my optometry appointment, because Lynn reminded me last week she had just gotten hers. I was like, oh yeah, I need to make sure I get mine. I get that paid
eyes
for. Insurance covers once a year, so let me go ahead and get my eyes checked and make sure everything's working. And one expression that I've always heard is bad news early is good news. So make sure you get your annual physicals, because if they do find something, they can take care of it and keep you healthy. And your health is your wealth, so you want to stay healthy.
Right. And I think in addition to keeping up with like the doctor, the dentist, the eye appointments and all of that, it's also walking and exercise, strength
training.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Keeping our balance, things like that. And this doesn't mean that we're experts at it or fanatics about it, but we're not ignoring it.
Diet as well.
Yes.
Trying to eat better as we age, just so we can have a longer, more fulfilled life.
Yeah. Healthier life. Yep. That's the goal. And then another item on our list of things we're not doing anymore is keeping up with trends. And that's one that I'm not sure we were ever trend chasers. And I know that we're definitely not early adopters.
Not keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah, we're not keeping up with the Joneses as far as like what neighbors and what other people are doing. We, dance to the beat of our own drum. And so we keep up with what things are happening. I think somewhat from the standpoint of me being a marketer and being involved in marketing my whole career, I am curious, I am aware of what those trends are, but just because I'm aware of it, just because everyone is doing it, it doesn't mean that we have to do it as well, especially if there is a financial investment to it or some other high hurdle to it. We're going to take our time. We're going to research. We're not overthinking, but we're going to make sure that what we do is something that we really need to do, we want to do. It's going to bring joy and goodness to our lives and not necessarily be something that we do just because everybody else is doing it.
Yep. Another thing we're not going to do is hold grudges against other people. We've got a small circle, small family as well, small circle of friends, and we want to value those relationships and make sure we're in good standing. And if you do get in a disagreement, you apologize. If it's something you can agree to disagree on, let it roll off your back. And there may be times where you literally fall out with someone, and you don't see eye to eye, and it's a big thing. But I always say, sometimes people come into your life for a season. So maybe they were there for those 10 years and now it's time to let them go. But life's too short to be bitter, angry, etc. Enjoy life. Keep your loved ones close and just keep it moving.
And don't take things personally.
Yeah, and try not to take things personally. Exactly.
Right. We tend to not have people problems. We like to get along well with everybody. We assume, Jice always tells me, assume good intent whenever anything happens. And so, that's one thing that we're not doing is really holding grudges or taking things personal when something happens. The next item on our list is we're not clinging to stuff. Now, this one is, something that we deal with. Why'd you look at me like that?
I feel like sometimes we do cling. We're trying to get better at it.
We're trying to get better at clinging to stuff. Some of that has been, I personally have been somewhat on a mission for that as far as like the relationship with physical items, probably for close to 10 years ago. When my grandmother passed away in 2015, I knew that she had lived in her house for 50 years. And when me and my mom, my sister were going through stuff, I know that everything in her house is something that she touched, but we were just throwing it away, putting big garbage bags and opening drawers and just throwing things away and donating stuff. And it really kind of, made me think that somebody one day may do this to me, is come all this stuff that I think is so important. When one day when I'm gone, it's not going to mean anything to nephews or nieces or whoever may be left behind. So, and then I recently downsized my mom from my childhood home and went through it again as far as this relationship with stuff that we have, this consumerism. So we are reevaluating our relationship with things. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I went into my closet and I pulled out about 25% of the clothes that I own because they don't fit anymore. They're not my style. I don't wear them. And somebody else can use them from a donation standpoint. So one of the things that we are not doing is clinging to stuff and reevaluating our relationship with things and focusing more on our relationship with people and experiences.
All right, the next thing we're not gonna do is try to figure stuff out on our own, especially if it takes too long. Like, for example, many years ago, I laid 800 square foot house full of tile. And boy, it took me, about a month to do it painstakingly by myself. You helped a little bit.
A little bit. It was hard labor.
Yeah, I figured it was back-breaking labor. They were the 14 by 14 tiles that were in vogue then, and it was like, oh my God. Yeah, I know how to do it now, but time value of money, my time would be better served doing something else. Let me pay somebody to do something like that. And there are maybe smaller things we could do on our own, like YouTube University is great. How to do small things, changing a flapper out the toilet, etc. But there are other things that this just doesn't make sense. So if it's going to take too much time or too much energy or exhaust too much physical labor, you know what? Let's let someone else do it. We'll pay them or barter or whatever. So
right, yeah. And we're at the stage where we'll pay to play. And there are experts and professionals that know how to do this. So
in half the time.
We had some plumbing issues and I was like, I can try to fix it. And Joyce was like, no, call the plumber, which we did. And the plumber looked through our whole house, actually found some other issues. And while we were doing other things, the plumber was working on the house. And even from the standpoint of this YouTube channel,
right.
We've never done a YouTube channel before, so we watch lots of videos. We follow some people that have programs and courses, and we actually bought a course that helped us get up the learning curve that much faster. So that's something that we're not doing, is really trying to DIY everything and figure it out on ourselves. Nah, find the professionals, find the experts, and let them do it.
You shouting them out?
We shouting them out. Rob and Allie of Grounded Life Travel, thank you so much. We'll put potentially a link in the description for the program that we purchased, but they have helped us really get up the learning curve on how to conquer everything that is YouTube.
Right.
So that leads us to the final one on our list of things that we're not doing anymore, and that is procrastinating with our dreams. And that's the big one that we really want to share with you all, encourage you all. That's what GenX Quench is all about. Is that those dreams that you've had sitting on the shelf for the last 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, all of your adult life, it's time to start making those dreams a reality. Stop with the excuses, stop with the maybe one day, maybe someday. No, someday is today. That's why we're doing this YouTube channel. That is why we're traveling. That's why we are looking at living abroad. All the things that we have dreamed about, all the things that we have discussed, we're putting those things in motion now, and we have put a X and a stop to the procrastination on our dreams, and we're living them and trying to make them a reality now. And that is our wish for you. So, what do you think about our list? Comment below. Is there anything that you would add to your list as a midlifer, a Gen X that you have quenched and you're no longer doing anymore? Let us know in the comment. And as always, like this video,
share, subscribe, and again, leave a comment.
We'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you on the next GenX Quench video. Thanks
care.
for watching.
Take care.
Bye-bye.